Hey guys, Yusafa here for another Alliance War video. So this is against NEWN. It's War number 2, Season 25. Title card says Colossal Air Judgment. It definitely was. Not because of the death that I had in this war. I did die, but that's not why there was a Colossal Air Judgment. I'll get into it as we get to the particular part of the video. I had 4 fights this war. I had Node 8, 17, 27, 36. So lane 8 in section 1 and lane 6 in section 2. All 4 of the fights were relatively easy. The 4th fight was very, very tricky. I brought in OGV, Doom, and Mags in for these fights. First fight is going to be against Hyperion. On Node 8 has return policy, heal block, and buff imbalance. Pretty easy 5-star hype against Doom. Nothing can kill Doom. I did boost pretty heavily for these for all of these fights. Put in full rainbows. I wasn't really worried about Hyperion. If he got into a special 3, I knew that he wouldn't be able to kill Doom since he has such a hefty health pool. But it was a pretty simple, straightforward fight. I didn't want to nullify his buffs because that would give him 60% of a bar of power. So you won't see any heavies. Try to bait out as many SP1s and SP2s as possible. I was successful for the most part, except towards the end of the fight where he actually gets up to an SP3, and he was able to hit me, I think, just that once. But we are doing the little dance right here. So while this is going, I just want to give a little explanation to people watching this video. So the way that my battle group does their thing is that before each war, the officers put together on their spreadsheet and they match up fighters against specific lanes and specific bosses and put the best counter to each one of the individual nodes as possible. They spend a lot of time trying to figure it out for each war. I would say they spend at least an hour putting together and laying out who's going to take each boss and what's going to be the sequence of those bosses being taken. And then they give that direction, that plan to the alliance mates, the BG mates. And it is up to us BG mates to follow that plan. And you can see that later in this video, you can see where that actually broke down, and it was all my fault. Alright, so this next node is against Warlock on node 17. He has buff imbalance also, blood in the water. I'm taking Mags against him. This one's kind of interesting. Now, Mags, he is going against Warlock. Warlock is metal, so Warlock does get magnetized. They are running the Global Protect, and so there is a chance that the Protect will proc on Warlock based upon how heavy Mags hits him. So you can see here that there's one Protect against him right now. Not really concerned about the one. It's when he gets up to 2 and 3 that I really start getting concerned. You can see I am taking some block damage here, which is concerning a little bit. But I haven't procced that second Protect, so I still feel pretty confident. You're going to see here real quick though that does change pretty soon, and that I do launch or proc another Protect, which means I just have to intercept to knock those out. Got him up to an SP2. Those are really easy to bait out and avoid. Take a little hits there. Alright, so now you see the second protection here. Now I'm starting to freak out. Now my damage is going to be completely gimped. So I am going to have to intercept him. There we go. So that took off the Protect with an intercept. He's up to an SP2 again. Beat it out. And I think I'm going to launch an SP2, and he's down. So that fight went okay. I did take some hits. I am going to have to use some potions here. Alright, so the next fight, so I'm going to pause the video right here so we can explain here. So the direction to the battle group was that the people that were taking lanes 7, 8, and 9 were going to do a boss rush. And that means that they were going to go up and they were going to complete their lanes and that they were going to take down the boss to take down the Global Protect node. meaning that the rest of us in 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, and 6 wouldn't have to worry about the global node. So here I am, Yusafa, who is a retired military officer of 20 years, thinking that I know better than the officers, and that my lane, being Stealthy and Havoc, well, they're not large or extra large champions, so they don't have the Global Protect node on them regardless. So why can't I just take down these two bosses and be done with it? Now, I can understand lane 5, who has Thing and Hulkbuster, because those guys definitely will have Global Protect on them, but not my guys. My lane, my two champs won't have Global Protect on them. So I'm just going to go ahead and take these guys out because it's 9 o'clock at night. You know, I want to get it done, and I don't want to have to worry about it the next day. Well, I didn't realize, and in my moment of weakness, I decided to take these two guys down because I didn't see any benefit of waiting until the bosses were down. Well, you know, if you think about it more, if the boss was down, then the experienced people in the battle group, the people who were taking down Mini Island, they could have spent more time talking us through each one of the individual fights and given us strategies, and so they wouldn't have to worry about taking down their fights. They could interact with everybody else and try to identify any of the sketchiness in any of the other fights. And you're going to see that in my fight against Havoc. But okay, so that was the colossal mistake. The colossal mistake was that I thought I knew better than the BG officers and that I could go ahead because I was special. Alright, so back to Stealthy. Stealthy, relatively simple fight. Stealthy is metal. Took mags against him. I have suicides off. Essentially, it's a parry heavy fight. He goes down really easily. Stealthy doesn't have much of a health pool. He is going to be magnetized. I'm going to parry. I'm going to have a lot of perfect blocks against him. I'm really not going to have to worry about the node. I'm not going to have any degens on me. He's not going to go unblockable. I don't really have to worry about him evading because I'm just doing parry heavy. And the fight goes really, really easily. Which then does feed into my ego, thinking that I could take the Havoc down with no problem in the next fight. And you're going to see that that just is not the case. Alright, so you guys see parry heavy. He's already down half his health. I'm still at 100%. Bait out the SP1. Really easy. Parry heavy. And another couple of those, and he's going to be down. And that's it. All right, so the next node that next boss I'm going against is node 36, Havoc. So this is a really good placement. I have not faced Havoc here on this node before, but what you got to realize, so I'm taking OGB in here, my 5-star OGB, SIG 200. He is going to have charges placed on me, and if he gets up to 3 charges placed on OGB, he's going to go unblockable, and I need to be ready for that. This is something that I really didn't prepare because I dueled a bunch and I didn't get any charges against me just because I was launching so many SP1s. But you can see for the most part, the first half of the fight goes really well because I am power draining him, and he is not able to build up his charges whatsoever. So it's just launch as many SP1s, SP2s as you can. Just keep his charges down as much as possible. And pretty soon you're going to see how this just goes really awry. So I'm getting power pretty reliably. He's got 5 charges built up on him right now. He's converted them to prowess, which is fine. Now he's got 10. All right, now I got 2 charges against me. 1 more and he goes unblockable. Uh-oh, now he's unblockable. All right, there's a cheeky little intercept right there. He's blockable. Oh, I take a 5-hit combo to the face, or 4-hit. All right, so now I have to be really careful. Oh, I take another 3-hit combo. All right, intercept. He's down to 44%. I take another 3-hit combo to the face, intercept there. Build up to an SP3. take a bit of damage off him. He's down to 31%, and done. Alright, so now I die, and now I'm just feeling like absolute crap. I'm like, oh crap, this is not gonna be good. Officers are not gonna be happy against me. This is, again, against NEWN. They're gonna die 1 or 2 times this entire war, and I just gave up a death. So now I'm healing up full to OGV. I'm gonna go back in. He's only got 30% left into him. I'm gonna be able to kill him before he builds up enough charges against me. But the damage is done. I've had my first death this season, war number 2, and now I've got to go explain myself, and it's just not pretty. So, what lessons did I learn from this war? Well, first of all, it's listen to your freaking officers. Don't do anything. Don't think that you're better than they are. Don't think you're smarter than they are, because you're not. I've never really thought of, but I mean, I know I'm probably on the bottom 50% of the BG with regards to skill, but I should have listened to the officers. I mean, shoot, I was in the military for 20 years. I should learn that the entire team breaks down unless you follow the plan. And one person, if they don't follow the plan, then the entire structure just crumbles. I'll never do it again. This was just a really bad war, and it's not because of the death, because I know the Alliance understands deaths because they happen, but it's when you don't follow the plan that the officers give you that really does kind of sully and sour your relationship with the officers. So this one hurts especially more than any other Alliance war that I've been in, where I've given up deaths before, so anyway, so that's the end of the video. We did end up losing this war. NEWN, fantastic job. They died 2 times against our defense. We died 10 times. I think BG2 had like 7 deaths out of the entire 10. It just had, you know, I equated down to me just not following the plan, and the plan just broke down. So I'm carrying this as a weight on my shoulders right now. But anyway, thank you guys for watching and listening to me ramble on with this war video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned something. Listen to your officers, listen to your alliance, your battle group, and follow the plan. And hopefully you've learned something and it won't happen to you. Thanks.